What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the second installment of What If Naruto was the Reverse Flash. For this series, I ended up taking a different approach, but honestly, with the way that the Flash story is set up, I could genuinely keep this story going on forever, and you're gonna see what I mean by that when you get to the end. However, if you guys go on to enjoy this video and you love it so much that you guys would potentially want a bonus part and when this movie drops, then let me know, because I would more than definitely be willing to drop something like that for you guys. That said, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
We start our story off the following morning in the perspective of Naruto. Naruto would just be sitting around waiting for the team to finally all arrive, and Naruto decides that this is boring. He ends up pretty much making his way towards Hiruzen's office, and once there, Hiruzen is literally mid hitting his pipe, and Naruto blitzes in, papers start flying everywhere, and Naruto asks Hiruzen a simple question. Hey old man, why have you always had a problem with me? Hiruzen finally would end up replying and says, Naruto, aren't you supposed to be getting ready for your mission? Get out of here, Naruto. And Naruto's like, I'll leave when you answer my question. And Hiruzen says, get out of here. You don't get to ask questions here. I'm the Hokage. You don't get to demand anything from me. You're just some kid. Now go do your mission. And Naruto looks at him and says, you know, Hokage, you're lucky that I'm even in this village in the first place. Because let's be honest, I'm pretty sure you know as well as I do that if I really wanted to, I could take you out in an instant. I'm so fast that you don't even understand how quickly I could end your life. At this point, two Anbu guards would make their presence known and would stand in front of Naruto, both aiming their blades at his neck. Naruto in an instant would proceed to make them both naked, and he would then look towards Hiruzen as he would say, look, you don't have to answer my question now, but maybe you can answer it when I get back from my mission. I'll be waiting, Hokage. And here, they would finally end up making their way towards the direction of the land of the waves. Once this would all end up happening, eventually the moment would happen when the Demon Brothers would end up attempting to attack them, and it would be at this moment that Naruto, realizing that both of them were rushing in at Kakashi, would immediately activate the speed force inside of him. Lightning would flash in Naruto's eyes, and he would immediately blitz towards them, instantly reverse flashing them. Now, what do I mean by that? Bro vibrates his hand and straight crushes their heart from the inside. Afterwards, Naruto proceeds to absolutely destroy them both by straight just not only crushing their hearts, but also crushing their stomachs, causing them to just cough out blood, mid-rushing Kakashi, falling to their knees and just dying. At this point, Kakashi would widen his eyes because he didn't even get to use the substitution jutsu. He didn't even get to perform the hand sign. And Naruto had already reverse flashed them. The entire team would be shocked, and Naruto would look at them. His lightning would have flashed a brief orange for that second, and Naruto would then be told by Kakashi, what happened. Naruto says that he snapped their necks, obviously lying, but then Kakashi would say that that's a little too far, doesn't he think? Doesn't he think it would have been wise to gain information from them? And Naruto says they would have never talked. Plus, it's easier this way. It's not like anything's actually gonna hurt us. I mean, come on, we have you, me, and as much as I'd hate to admit it, even Sasuke back there could have taken them out. As from here, Sasuke would just kind of look away and humph at that statement as they continue walking, but eventually Kakashi would stop them midway through their trail, and he would tell Naruto that he needs to talk to him privately after this mission is over. Naruto would sigh and would say whatever. As from here, what would pretty much end up going down is that they continue their walk, and eventually Naruto would spot a white bunny. Naruto, seeing this, would immediately realize that that thing doesn't belong here. It's in the middle of summer, and it makes no sense why it would be here. Suddenly, Naruto turns to his left, only to see a gigantic blade coming at them. Kakashi, about 2 days later, in Naruto's perspective basically, would finally end up saying, "Dodge!" and Naruto would have already gotten out of the way, going over to see Zabuza, who ends up like in Naruto's perspective, just straight slowly moving towards the sword, jumping on it, like flipping onto it, and then looking down on them before Naruto's time perspective would go back to normal and Zabuza would have his casual speech like in canon. Eventually, Kakashi would turn towards Naruto and say, "Naruto, I'm gonna handle this." As from here, Kakashi gets ready to fight Zabuza, and unfortunately he would still get caught. This time, however, Naruto, being able to actually save him by himself, would immediately run on water, blitzing towards Kakashi, and he would instantly reverse flash Zabuza, leading Haku to watch this all go down instantly, and he sees Naruto's hand straight in the heart of Zabuza, would be enraged like never before. He immediately rushes in and throws a Senbon right at a deadly spot at Naruto's neck, but Naruto catches the Senbon mid-air and looks to see Haku with this expression of rage, tears coming out of the eyes, and the face would just be red. Haku was about to perform a massive ice kiki genkai jutsu on him, and Naruto would say, "Not today, kid." As from here, he would go on to straight snap Haku's neck and then just walk towards Kakashi, grab him and say, "You're an embarrassment of a leader, you know that, Kakashi? You let your guard down. You didn't even use your full strength on him. I know that if you would have used the Uchiha's dojutsu you have access to, you could have defeated him easily. But instead, you decided to play games and make yourself look cool for us for no reason. You can't be like that and be a leader of this squad." And Kakashi would just be like, "Noted, Naruto. Now, can we please make our way towards Zabuza's house? I'm extremely tired." They make their way there, and 2 days later, Kakashi would finally wake up from a sleazy nap. Eventually, after all that would happen, that same morning, Naruto would have ended up waking up from a nightmare in a cold sweat. And Naruto would be completely unsure why this is, because he feels like it was too real. Naruto feels like he's maybe becoming more dull and cold to the world. He remembers the way that he murdered Zabuza and Haku, and he realizes that he didn't feel anything. Like back then, maybe he would have been a bit scared of that, but now he's just able to brush it off. Eventually, like I said, Naruto would have had a strange nightmare, and he would have found himself inside of a red void with electricity, tornadoes, and it just looks like the end of the world, and a negative energy all over it. Turning towards his right side, he would see a dead fox carcass there, laying around as swirls of red evil energy would just be polluting the place where Naruto would normally call the Speed Force. That's how Naruto gained access to the negative Speed Force. Kurama's hatred powered it, and the entirety of the Speed Force was consumed by Kurama. Ultimately, once converted, the Speed Force converted Kurama and consumed it. And from here, Naruto would wake up in a cold sweat, questioning what in the world that was. Eventually, Naruto would finally end up being at the bridge, just lost in thought, when suddenly a boat would end up arriving, and Gato would say something along the lines of, "Zabuza couldn't finish the job, but what do you expect, man? If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself, am I right?" And everybody would immediately become yes man and just agree with Gato. As from here, Naruto, turning towards their direction, would ask if he's the one responsible for the destruction of this village. And Gato would say, "And if I said I was?" Naruto immediately, in a flash of red lightning, would just straight bam, 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 decapitate all of them, before then appearing in front of Gato with an evil smile and say, "Then I'll kill you." As Gato would say, "Wait, I'll give you anything you want. This village, money, fame, anything. Please, spare me." But Naruto's like, "Oh, what do I want? Well, what I want, you can't give me." As from here, Naruto would proceed to stab his hand into Gato's heart, crush it, and Gato would just be like, "Huh?" as blood pops out of his mouth and he falls to the ground, leading Naruto to watch Gato on the ground, laugh at him, and kick him in the water. As from here, Naruto would spin so fast it would create a mini vortex that would throw all the bodies of these men into the water, and eventually Naruto would throw lightning at the boat, burning it, immediately causing an explosion on the boat, causing it to be destroyed. Then Naruto would turn towards Gato and say, "There, problem solved. Can we go back to the village?" And Kakashi would say, "Well, considering that Gato's taken care of, wouldn't that really solve your guys' problem?" And, from here, Tazuna would say it does. He would look at Naruto with fear, but end up saying that this bridge from now and forever will be known as the Great Naruto Bridge. As Naruto says, "Fine, then hold on to him." And they're like, what are you talking about? Naruto says that he doesn't have time to make another walk again. He would rather just take them all there one by one. And Kakashi would be like, you know what? I don't like journeys either, so go for it. They all pretty much end up getting taken by Naruto one by one back to the village. And eventually, before Naruto leaves, he would see Inari one more time, before then telling him not to let people walk all over him, and sometimes it's good to embrace that negativity inside of him. It'll give him more power, he would say. As he would leave, and eventually Naruto would find himself in Hiruzen's office. He would then get paid for all of the time that they were compensated for the mission, and Naruto would actually end up getting paid less than all of his companions. Naruto would end up asking Sasuke how much he was paid, and Sasuke would tell him that he ended up receiving an extra 500 yen. Naruto, once hearing the fact that his teammates were compensated greater than him, would finally have enough of Hiruzen, and he would make his way back towards the direction of Hiruzen's tower, when suddenly Naruto realizes that some kid from the village was actually getting attacked. Naruto, going over towards this direction, would see that Konohamaru was getting picked up by a shirt by a man with purple makeup on his face, and Naruto would blitz right by him, grabbing Konohamaru, putting him down, and then looking towards Kankuro, who would immediately be shocked by this and be like, what the? As from here, Kankuro would turn towards the direction of Naruto and would say, how did you do that? And Naruto would say, oh, you know, a little practice here, a little practice there, a couple morning jogs, and a little bit of evil. As from here, Kankuro would take 2 steps back, actually fearing Naruto, and Naruto would go on and just go like this. He'd be like, the smell of fear. As Kankuro from here would go on a backstep, and eventually sand would then cover the area, as Gaara would end up arriving in a swirl of a tornado of sand, and Naruto would say, interesting. Looks like somebody powerful actually showed up to the Chunin exams. Too bad all that sand won't be able to protect you when I phase through you and destroy your heart from the inside out. And Gaara would smile, saying, I would love to see you try. Please, tell me your name, so that I may remember the name of the man that I will slaughter. As from here, Naruto chuckles and says, you know, I like that. Name's Naruto Uzumaki. Remember that. To you, it's the Grim Reaper, but to everybody else, it's Naruto. As from here, Gaara would stare at him like intently, and eventually they would both go separate ways. We would finally get to the day of the test, and Naruto would have to, unfortunately, watch Sasuke get beat up tragically in slow motion. And one thing that Naruto would notice about Sasuke getting absolutely washed would be that he realized that Lee was actually an insanely competent taijutsu fighter. So using his brain capacity and his memory, he would be able to copy down his movements in his head, memorizing them, and would end up training on them another day. We finally get to the exam room, and Naruto would immediately, as soon as they're told about what the rules are, Naruto decides that he could fill out the test and think for himself, or he could simply run around the room and copy everybody in about 30 to 40 minutes. So Naruto would just sit there and wait, tapping his pen on the desk, as eventually a proctor comes up to him and would say, stop that. Naruto would do so, and eventually after this would happen and time would have finally passed, Naruto would blitz around the room and just copy down everybody else's test answers, copying the ones of the people who look like they're the smartest and most confident. Naruto realizes that Sasuke's paper has a bunch of wrong answers, correcting his and also the paper of Sakura's, as much as he doesn't like her. But eventually they would then be passed and taken into the Forest of Death by Anko Mitarashi. Eventually, after that ends up going down, what would pretty much end up taking place is they would run inside of the forest, and Naruto would say, alright, look, here's the deal. I don't really want to be in this cruddy forest, and not only that, but I'm hungry and I need to go take a leak. So, you guys wait here, and when I come back, we can, go steal somebody's scroll real quick and break the record or something. Sasuke says that he's tired of just getting carried by Naruto all day, and that he wants to, have Naruto take a backstep for once. Naruto says unfortunately he can't do that, and Sasuke says fortunately he can. As from here, Naruto would say, whatever Sasuke, we'll do whatever you want to do. As from here, Naruto goes off, takes a leak, and mid-leak, Naruto realizes that a snake's coming after him. Obviously, Naruto seeing this, he'd be like, oh wow, how do I stop on command? But Naruto can't. He would simply run up the tree and jump on top of the head of the snake as he proceeds to finish pissing on top of its head, and some of it would leak into the snake's eye. The snake would then growl in pain like a screech, and immediately after this, Naruto would proceed to vibrate his hand as he then stabs it into the head of the snake and crushes its brain matter. As from here, Naruto looks and notices that the snake's just like, it's dead, it's straight just convulsing on the floor, and Naruto would laugh in complete like hystericalness, right? As from here, we would finally see Naruto returning to the team as he realizes that Orochimaru was about to bite down on Sasuke's neck. Bro's about to straight, I'm giving him a hickey, but Naruto enters the way and would immediately proceed to grab Orochimaru as he would simply just like push him away from him. Orochimaru would realize that his spot where he was last standing at was completely moved, and he looks around only to realize that Naruto's standing in front of him. Then suddenly he disappears, and Orochimaru would get punched square in the nuts, or sorry, not even punched but kicked there with a full force lightning kick, as Orochimaru would fall down to the ground and would begin holding his family jewels. Naruto, who has Orochimaru on his knees at this current moment, would then begin to make fun of Orochimaru and say he must be one of those legendary Sannin he's heard so much about. He then says that they must not be anything impressive, considering that he was taken out with such a simple move. Naruto from here turns towards Orochimaru as he says he has two choices. He can either run out of here with his tail between his legs, or he can die immediately and Naruto could send him straight to the afterlife, straight to the Shinigami. Orochimaru from here would like gulp and he'd be like, you know what I mean? And he would immediately begin to get out of there. First though, he would try to attack at Naruto, but realizing that it's completely futile, he would end up running away instantly. And after that would end up taking place, Naruto would then turn back towards his teammates and say, well, now that that's done, what do we suppose we do? And Sasuke says, well, we can just take his scroll and make our way towards the tower. I guess it would be better for us to train than to just sit here around and do nothing. And so they would do so. Immediately, Naruto creates two more clones, and he would pick up Sasuke and Sakura, blitzing towards the direction of the tower and breaking the score, getting there even before Gaara, Minato, and Itachi would have done so in their own respective stories. Eventually, after 2 days would finally pass, Naruto would be in the waiting room after having been told by Iruka what's going to happen now, and Naruto would wonder to himself why he hates him so much. Naruto also decides to go over and ask Hiruzen why in the world he hates him so much, why he's been hating him all this time. And Hiruzen just like, he literally just tells him that the reason that he doesn't like him is because inside of him dwells a beast that's responsible for killing his wife. And every time he looks at him, he remembers the fact that his wife's no longer with him. Naruto, after hearing this, can kind of like understand Hiruzen, but then Naruto's like, nah, like, I didn't kill your wife. Like, just because something that did is living inside of me doesn't mean that you get to like do all this to me and like treat me horribly. Like, you don't get to do that. And Hiruzen says, I'm Hokage. I can do whatever I want. Naruto turns towards him and says, not for long you won't be, old man. Once the world catches glimpse of my power and I get about 1 more year, well, let's just say that your time as Kage will finally be coming to an end, old man. And not only that, but your services won't be required anymore. Capiche? As Hiruzen would simply like snap the cigar that's in his mouth, and from here Naruto would exit the area. From here the first battle would go down, which is simply just Kiba versus Naruto, and as soon as the match would start, Naruto would blitz in front of Kiba, as Kiba would be like, what the, how did you? But immediately Naruto would 1-inch punch Kiba and send him crashing into the wall, leading Kiba to cough out blood and be taken to the ER by the medics. Eventually he walks over towards Hinata, who would hand him some healing ointment, and Naruto would actually take kindly to the gesture, saying that he appreciates it, understanding that, she's a nice girl, saying that if he ever goes AWire, he's gonna at least leave her alone for being nice to him, being the only person who has ever genuinely been nice to him. Naruto from here would decide that during his 1 month of training, Naruto wants to actually go check out the lands. So that's what Naruto would do. instead of having Naruto train with Jiraiya and have him simply just learn basic jutsus that he's not really going to need anymore, let's be honest, Naruto travels the world during this next month, learning techniques from different masters and just tasting different food from around the world and seeing the state that the world is in. Naruto realizes one thing: he lives in the most corrupt world he can possibly think of, and it would honestly, as much as Naruto hates to admit it, it would low-key sadden him in a way. Naruto realizes that the society he's in is terrible, filled with corruption, and it's just poisoned by the way that the world works. Just like ours, you know? Like the agenda of the world is propagated all the time, and that's the reason that we live as degenerates now, like because it's accepted normally, and now we are all like that. But not too late to change, boys. We can all be better. Anyways, tangent aside, continuing forward with the story, Naruto would finally return after the 1 month training period would be over, and facing off against Neji, who he had to witness beating down on Hinata. Naruto would have a flashback to when he ended up grabbing Neji by the neck and telling him that he looks adorable when he's helpless, before then smacking Neji away and straight fracturing his jaw. From here, he looks back at Neji, who would then tell him that things won't be the same as they were last time. And Naruto says, "Trust me, they're gonna be even worse for you." As from here, Neji would get into a fighting stance, and as soon as the proctor says, "Hajime," Naruto would have Neji on the ground in 1 second flat, and everybody would just see as dust like rose up into the air, and Neji's just on the ground, like straight paralyzed. Naruto says that he used the paralyzing technique by tapping all of his different pressure points, and now Neji won't be able to move for at least a week. Neji would be shocked, and realizing that he genuinely just couldn't do a thing to Naruto, he would wonder why in the world he's even in these exams. He's at minimum Kage levels of strength. Who could have predicted something like that or even countered that? There was not even enough time for Neji, even with his Byakugan, to see what Naruto did. It was just a flash of red lightning in front of him is what Neji saw, like for a split instance, and then it was orange other than that, and then it was like just normal and yellow. Neji's confused by why these colors are so different, but he doesn't have time to think of anything or even say anything. He's quite literally paralyzed. And so, following this, we would then end up having the Sasuke versus Gaara fight. And just like in the original, Gaara goes absolutely nuts and haywire. However, one person that wouldn't be present whatsoever is Orochimaru. Now let's just say that Naruto scaring and talking to Orochimaru definitely scared him out of doing this little charade that he was going to be pulling off. So when Sasuke ends up pretty much facing off against Gaara, and Gaara just pretty much runs away, Sasuke chases after him, and Naruto's the one who pulls up and has to save him. Sasuke this time doesn't even have access to the curse mark, and is beginning to feel even more inferior than he would in the original. Naruto, at this point, would end up turning towards the direction of Sasuke and would ask himself, what in the world like he should do, you know, like what in the world Naruto should do. Like, should he let Sasuke die, or should he just like let him like kind of keep feeding and adding fire to Sasuke's pride? Naruto decides that ultimately the best probable course of action would probably just be to take out Gaara permanently. He can't even control that power that's inside of him, plus Gaara would probably find more solace in that, right? Naruto blitzes up and over towards Gaara, and once arriving, Naruto just sees that look of pure just like rage and psychoticness in Gaara's eyes. Naruto grabs Gaara by the neck and just snaps it. And Sasuke would watch this, as Sasuke would be like, "What were you doing? Like, I was about to kill him." And Naruto would say, "No, you weren't, Sasuke. Like, you're out of your mind." But Sasuke ultimately would look at Naruto, and he would end up pretty much telling him that he's out of his mind. He took his battle, and he'd been taking the limelight from him ever since they started this. Sasuke would say that he hates him, and he would say that he would be nothing without that speed of his. And Naruto would say, "You'd be nothing without that Sharingan of yours, but you don't see me telling you that." As from here, Sasuke grits his teeth, and he would lunge at Naruto with a Chidori in his hand. Naruto, realizing this, would phase through Sasuke, and Sasuke would just go flying into a tree, slamming his Chidori into it. As from here, Sasuke would be like, "How did you?" And Naruto would say, "Trust me, you couldn't touch me even if you wanted to. The difference between us two is so catastrophic that you could train 1,000,000 years and still not be half as fast as I am. Sasuke, you're weak. You're not even worthy of killing. And once he would hear that, Sasuke would have a traumatic flashback to when he remembers Itachi. From here, Sasuke would just fall to the ground and pass out unconscious. And Naruto would say, good, now that the weakling's out, I can finally return to the village. Once he ends up returning, Naruto would then unfortunately begrudgingly be promoted to Kage by Hiruzen. And Naruto, after having to watch Sasuke be all envious of him and how Sasuke is like straight up just an op to him, Naruto would be getting angrier and angrier. And during the coronation of Naruto being told that he's going to be promoted to Chunin, Hiruzen would just be doing it so like, with just like hate in his heart. Like he would be doing it so ingenuine. And Naruto would accept the Chunin vest, right? Before then asking the crowd if they think he should be a Chunin or a Jonin. A bunch of them say he should be a Jonin, and Hiruzen would whisper underneath his breath he doesn't deserve to be anything. As from here, Naruto would say, you know, I've had just about enough of you. Hiruzen, I hereby declare you to lose your spot as the Kage. As Naruto would instantly vibrate his hand and straight bam, slash at the head of Hiruzen, decapitating him instantly and causing everybody in the crowd to watch and just go into an uproar. Naruto from here, his eyes would flash red and his lightning would finally turn dark crimson red as he turns towards the direction of everybody, and to put everything simply, he slows down time so unbelievably fast that Naruto would proceed to kill everyone. Women, children, like friends. Like Naruto doesn't spare anyone but Hinata. Like she's literally the only person who would be left behind. And she just has to sit there and look at the pool of blood that goes everywhere. She then turns towards Naruto and sees his eyes flashing red, and Naruto looks right at her and she runs away screaming that he's a monster. As from here, Naruto, like his vision would finally return, and like for a split second, Naruto would realize everything that he just did. Naruto would think to himself, what have I done? And from here, he looks around to see that not only did he kill like random people, but he straight just killed people that didn't even deserve it. Bro, Teuchi's dead, the ramen guy. And once Naruto realizes that, Naruto would be like, no, I didn't mean to. Like, this wasn't how things were supposed to go. And Naruto just looks around at his surroundings, realizing that he really has gotten so polluted. Like, Naruto lost himself along the way, and Naruto doesn't know what to do. Naruto just does the only thing he can do and runs as fast as he can. Running, stepping forward one step at a time before suddenly everything just becomes different. Naruto would find himself running inside of like a portal-like axis inside of the negative speed force, and he would reach such speeds that Naruto would actually end up traveling back in time to the day of the Nine Tails incident. And Naruto simply says, what the?